Why do most people never reach their goals? And now, that's a question worth asking, and more importantly, worth answering. Because if you don't answer it, you might become one of them, one of the many, one of the majority, the crowd who lives with wishes instead of plans, with dreams instead of deadlines. Success is predictable. It's not luck, and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. That's what I discovered early in life. And here's the truth. Most people don't fail because they lack talent, or resources, or intelligence. No. Most people fail because they never set the right kind of goals. And even when they do, they don't follow through. Let me say it plainly, you don't get what you want, you get what you become. And becoming takes discipline, clarity, and consistency. You see, there are principles. There are laws. Just like gravity. They don't care if you believe in them or not. You want success. You follow the rules. So let's talk about why most people don't make it. Why they start strong in January, but lose steam by February. Why they dream big at night, but snooze the alarm in the morning. It's not the size of their goals that's the problem. It's the structure, the strategy, the inner game. Let me ask you this. Have you ever written down a goal and months later realized you barely moved an inch? Don't be ashamed. You're not alone. But you can't stay there. You see, success isn't one massive leap. It's a series of small, well-directed steps, done with intent and with urgency. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. And now that's the warning. So in this series, we're going to get serious. We're going to go deep. We'll unpack the 5 reasons most people never reach their goals. And more importantly, we'll talk about what you can do to avoid their mistakes. Here's what we'll cover. Let me start with a simple truth. If you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up somewhere else. Now, that sounds obvious, but it's profound. And sadly, it explains the lives of so many people. They're busy. They're working hard. They're staying up late. They're putting in the hours, but they're headed nowhere. Why? Because they've never stopped long enough to really ask themselves, what do I want? Not what society tells them. Not what their parents hoped for. Not what their friends are chasing. But what they want. You see, that's the first reason most people never reach their goals. They don't reach them. Because they never set them. And they never set them because they never clarified what truly matters to them. Everything begins with thought. What you think about, you bring about. And here's the kicker. If you don't define what you want, someone else will. They'll hand you a job, a routine, a box to live in. And you'll wake up one day, trapped in a life you didn't design. Let me give you an example. People say, I want to be rich. It sounds exciting. But what does that mean? How rich? In what time frame? And for what purpose? More money isn't a goal. It's a vague wish. Here's what a real goal sounds like. I want to earn $100,000 a year doing work I love by the end of next year, so I can pay off my debt, travel with my family, and build a life of freedom. Now we're talking. Because when the why gets clear, the how begins to show up. So how do we fix it? How do we start knowing what we want? It starts with silence. It starts with stillness. Take time to think. Not scroll, not hustle, not panic. Think. Ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? What kind of person do I admire? And how close am I to becoming that? What would make me proud 5 years from now? If money wasn't an issue, what would I be doing today? These questions may seem simple, but don't confuse simple with shallow. You've got to be serious. Life responds to serious people. Get a notebook. Take an hour. Write down 20 things you'd love to do, be, or have in this life. Just write, no filters. Don't worry if it sounds crazy. Because the first step to achieving anything is knowing what it is. You'd be amazed how many people go through life working a job they don't like, living in a city they never chose, running on autopilot. Why? Because they never decided what they truly wanted. Remember, goals give your life direction. And direction is more important than speed. The wind blows on us all. The difference in arrival is the set of the sail. You can't control the wind, but you can control the sail, and that sail is your goal. So if you're drifting, if life feels random, if you're stuck in a cycle of starting and stopping, don't look at the outside. Look within. Because maybe you don't need a better plan. Maybe you just need a clearer destination. When you clarify the goal, life begins to rearrange itself. You start noticing opportunities. You start making better decisions. You start living with purpose. So let this be your first habit of success. Decide what you want. Write it down. Read it every day. And keep it in front of you like a compass. Because the major reason for setting a goal is what it makes of you to accomplish it. Now that we know the first reason most people fail, they don't know what they want. Next, we'll talk about the second reason. They don't write their goals down. And that, my friend, is where things start to get real. Let's go a little deeper now. We've talked about the first reason. Why most people never reach their goals. They don't know what they want. Now let's say you get clear. You sit down. You think. You reflect. And finally, you know what you want. That's a powerful moment. But here's the second mistake. They don't write it down. Goals that are not in writing are just wishes. And wishes are little more than hope floating in the wind. You see, hope is not a strategy. You can hope all you want, but until you write it down, you haven't committed. Writing crystallizes thought. It brings clarity. It brings structure. When you write your goals down, something shifts in the brain. The abstract becomes tangible. The dream becomes a target. The hope becomes a plan. Let me ask you something. Have you ever made a grocery list? Of course you have. And what happens when you go to the store without it? You forget something. You waste time. You wander. But when you have a list, you're focused. You're efficient. You check it off. Now, if a written list can help with groceries, imagine what a written list can do for your life. Don't just think it. Ink it. Let me tell you what I learned. When I started writing my goals down, it felt silly at first. But then I looked back after 6 months, and I was stunned. I had accomplished most of them. Why? Because my mind had a direction. My focus had a target. My energy had a place to land. You must treat your goals like serious business. Why? Because your life is serious business. If someone asked to invest in your business, but you had no written plan, would they take you seriously? Of course not. So why would life reward you with your dream if you haven't even written it down? Now here's a simple exercise. Take out a notebook. Yes, pen and paper. Write down 10 goals you want to achieve in the next 12 months, big or small, personal or professional. Just write them down. Next, circle the one that would have the biggest impact on your life if you achieved it. Just one. Then ask yourself, what habits would I need to develop to reach this? Who do I need to become? What's stopping me? This exercise is powerful. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Without this step, your goals remain foggy dreams. They stay in your head where fear, doubt, and distractions can bury them. But when you write it down, it becomes real. It becomes visible. It becomes your responsibility. Now, don't just write them once. Review them. Every day, read them out loud, visualize them. Let them sink into your subconscious. Because repetition builds belief, and belief fuels action. Remember this. It's not enough to say, I want a better life. You have to define what better means, and then document it. Your goals must be in writing. It's like creating a blueprint for your future. But would you build a house without a blueprint? Of course not. You'd never move in. And yet, most people are trying to build a successful life without a plan on paper. No wonder they're frustrated. Writing your goals is simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. It takes intention. It takes effort. It takes you deciding that your life is worth the extra 5 minutes. So let today be the day you stop playing small. Don't just dream it. Don't just say it. Write it. Because once it's written, you've taken the first real step toward making it happen. Let me tell you something important today. A truth so simple, yet so often overlooked. People don't fail because they don't have goals. People fail because they don't have reasons. Let that settle in for a moment. You see, anybody can write down a goal, lose weight, make more money, start a business, travel the world, and don't get me wrong, those are wonderful goals. But if there's no emotion behind them, if there's no reason pulling you forward, you'll quit. It's not the size of the goal that matters. It's the strength of the reason behind it. When the why gets stronger, the how gets easier. Write that down. Stick it on your wall. Memorize it, because that quote, it changed my life. Let me give you an example. Back when I was 25 years old, I was broke, flat broke, pennies in my pocket, nothing in the bank. And then one day I came home to find a Girl Scout at my door selling cookies. You ever had a moment where your heart just sinks? That day I had to look at that little girl and say, I don't have the money. And she walked away, politely, kindly. But I stood there ashamed, embarrassed. That wasn't about cookies. It was about who I had become, or rather who I had failed to become. It's not what you get that makes you valuable. It's what you become. That day didn't just push me. It changed me, because now I had a reason. I said to myself, never again. Never again would I tell someone I can't afford a Toulouse box of cookies. Never again would I let my lack of discipline rob me of my dignity. That was my reason, and it was stronger than any excuse. So let me ask you now, what's your reason? Why do you want that new job? Why do you want to start that business? Why do you want that fit, healthy body? Why do you want to read more books, speak with more confidence, or provide more for your family? Because if your goal doesn't move your heart, it won't move your feet. Reasons come first. Answers come second. And that's what most people miss. They make a list of what they want, but they don't ask themselves why. They chase goals that sound good, that look good on paper, but they haven't connected it to something deep inside, something personal, something emotional. And that's why they quit when it gets hard. That's why they make excuses when it gets uncomfortable. That's why they procrastinate when it gets serious. Because when you have a goal without a reason, it's just a wish. It's just hope. And hope, my friend, is not a strategy. So let me give you a small assignment. A simple, powerful one next to each of your written goals. Write down your reason. Why does it matter? Not just to get rich or be successful. That's not deep enough. I want you to dig. I want you to feel it in your gut. It should make you cry, or at least come close. Because when you find that reason, you become unstoppable. Let me tell you another story. One of my students told me he wanted to double his income. He said he'd tried before, failed. I asked, why do you want to double your income? He said, because I want to prove to my dad I can do it. Now we were getting somewhere. And then he said, he never believed in me. There it was. That's the fire. That's the spark. We're not just talking about money anymore. We're talking about healing, about validation, about dignity. When your reasons run that deep, you'll do whatever it takes. Wake up early. Stay late. Push through fear. Ignore critics. Refuse to quit. Because your goal isn't a task. It's a mission. Motivation is what gets you started. Purpose is what keeps you going. So if your motivation feels weak right now, don't look at your goal. Look at your reason. If your dream feels like it's fading, don't adjust the dream. Reconnect with why you started in the first place. Write it, speak it, meditate on it. Let it soak into your bones. You'll find that when your why is strong, the how becomes automatic. 10 habits that made me successful. Think about that. You too also. And one habit you must build early, the habit of focus. Now, let me tell you something personal. Most people don't miss their goals because they're not smart, not because they're not capable, not even because they don't have a plan. Most people miss their goals because they let fear and distractions win. Let's talk about fear first. Fear is real, and it doesn't come screaming. It comes quietly. It shows up with a whisper. not a roar. Fear is the thief of the future. That's what I learned early on. I had goals, big dreams. But fear, it would come knocking. Every time I wanted to grow, every time I stepped outside the comfort zone, fear was right there. What will they say? What if I fail? What if I try and it doesn't work? My friend, fear is subtle, but it's dangerous. It paralyzes, it delays action, and delay is the enemy of progress. You know what fear loves? Excuses. You say, I'll start when I have more time. Fear smiles. You say, maybe next year. Fear wins. Let me offer you a different way of thinking. Don't wait for fear to disappear before you take action. Take action while you're afraid. That's courage. That's how you grow. Don't ask for security, ask for adventure. Fear says, play it safe. But the adventure of life says, try it anyway. Push yourself. Test yourself. Do you know why most people never start that business? Never write that book? Never chase that dream? Because they're waiting for the fear to leave. Let me break it to you gently. Fear never leaves. But you can outwork it. Now let's talk about its close cousin, distraction. Oh, distraction. You wake up with great intentions. You even write your goals on a little notepad. You plan the day, you say, today I'm going to take a big step forward. Then something happens. A notification, a message, a little scroll through social media, a quick video that turns into an hour. That turns into nothing getting done. And the saddest part, you don't even notice you're being robbed. You say, I just need a break. You say, I'll get back to it later. Later becomes never. Let me tell you what I learned. Distraction is more dangerous than failure. Because with failure, at least you know what went wrong. With distraction, you drift quietly, comfortably, until your life is off course. It's not what happens that determines your life's future. It's what you do about it, or what you do when fear knocks, what you do when distraction calls. Will you let it steal your focus? Or will you say, no, not this time. I've got work to do. You know what successful people do? They guard their focus like a treasure. They say, this hour is mine. No interruptions. No scrolling. No noise. Because they understand something most people don't. Focus is power. And without it, your goals are just wishes. You can outwork fear. You can outlast distraction. But only if you stay committed to the mission. Let me tell you something else. You will never feel like it every day. Motivation fades. Discipline remains. So make the decision today, and your goals are too important. Your future is too valuable. Your time is too limited. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. You know what that means? Every time you push past fear, every time you say no to a distraction, you're building the bridge, plank by plank, step by step. And one day you look up, and you're living the life you once only dreamed of. But it doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you stayed focused. Let me give you an exercise tomorrow morning before you do anything else. Write down one thing you must do to move forward. One action, one step. And then, do it before the distractions arrive. No excuses. No hesitation. Just execution. Because the only way to beat fear and distraction is through daily focused action. We must all suffer one of two pains: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. But choose discipline. Choose progress. Choose your goal, because regret, that pain lasts a lifetime. But the satisfaction of knowing you stayed focused, that you faced the fear, that you beat the distractions, that feeling is priceless. So far, we've talked about clarity, about writing it down, about having a purpose bigger than the goal itself, about facing fear and fighting distractions. But let me tell you this, even if you do all those things, even if you have a clear plan, a burning desire, and relentless focus, if you don't become the kind of person who deserves the goal, you won't reach it. And even if you dog, you won't keep it. Success is something you attract by the person you become. And now, just sit with that for a second. You don't chase success. You grow into it. You attract it by becoming worthy of it. Not by accident, by design. Most people never reach their goals because they don't change. They try to fit big dreams into their old habits, their old mindset, their old lifestyle. It doesn't work. The question isn't, what do you want? The real question is, who must I become in order to get what I want? You want wealth. Become a person who's wise with money. You want health. Become a person who values discipline, exercise, and clean eating. You want deep relationships. Become someone who listens, cares, and communicates with honesty. See, most people want the results, but they resist the transformation. They want the treasured without the training. Let me give you an image. Imagine planting a seed. You water it. You give it sunlight. You protect it. But it doesn't grow overnight. It takes time. And while it's growing beneath the soil, you don't see it. But something is happening. That's you. That's what personal growth looks like. You work on your mindset. You study. You discipline yourself. You show up every day. And at first, no results, just dirt. But keep going. Eventually, something breaks through. A little shoot. A sign that what you planted inside is becoming real on the outside. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better? Now that's powerful. Stop wishing for shortcuts. Start building strength. Because if your goal is bigger than your character, you'll sabotage it. You'll lose it. Or it will break you. That's why some people win the lottery and go broke. They never became the kind of person who could handle wealth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your training. So here's the real assignment: become more focused, become more consistent, become more thoughtful, become more valuable. If you want something better, you must become someone better. This is where real transformation begins. Start asking questions like, who do I admire? What habits do they have that I don't? What would the best version of me do in this situation? You don't have to change overnight, but you do have to change intentionally. Let me offer you 3 small daily actions that begin the process. 1. Read something that stretches you every day, even 10 pages. That's 650 pages in a year. It'll change your thinking, and your thinking shapes your life. 2. Do something uncomfortable on purpose. Every day, speak up in that meeting. Go for that run. Say no to the thing you always say yes to. Discomfort is how you grow. 3. Review your day. Every night, ask, did I act like the person I want to become? Where did I show strength? Where can I improve? Because success is not a goal. It's a side effect. It's a consequence of becoming the kind of person who earns it. So today, stop chasing goals and start chasing growth. When you grow, your goals get closer. Not because they moved, but because you did. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. Don't just wish for a better life. Don't just dream about a better future. Become the kind of person who creates it. Because when you become someone of discipline, of character, of focus, and consistency, you don't just reach your goals. You become someone worth having them. And that is the real reward. Now listen closely. My friend, reaching your goals isn't just about desire. It's not about excitement. It's not even about the dream. It's about discipline. It's about daily decisions. And most importantly, it's about who you become along the way. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. If your goals are still far away, don't be discouraged. It just means there's more of you to become. Get serious about your life. Get serious about your habits. And get serious about who you want to be. Don't drift.